Hi guys, it's Jessie Holton here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator for Australia, jessieholton.com. Today I'm showing you guys how to make some really cute little tags with Christmas coming up, and this is for the Enjoy the Little Things in Life Christmas blog hop or video hop. So I thought that I would show you a couple of really simple tricks and tips on how to throw together some really cute little tags that don't take long at all. So let's get started. Now I've cheated a little bit because I've already got some of these little bits and pieces ready. So I've got a bunch of, some of these parts are left over from cards, and some of them I've cut out in bulk to make up some tags with. So they're the little leaves there that go with that one, and then I've made up some red and some green little Happy Christmas sentiments. So the Happy Christmas is from Seasonal Bells, and this stamp set does actually have a matching bell punch that punches out these bells, so that's really pretty. I always suggest getting the bundle if something has a coordinating product that goes with it, a punch or framelits if you've got the Big Shot. Definitely get it, because you can make so much more with the card, and it's really easy when you've got all the coordinating parts. So that's where I got the little banner from. Now, we've got tons of Merry Christmas sort of sentiments, but I find that when I've got it in a banner, it's really easy for me to fussy cut if I don't have a matching framelit for it, which I don't for this one. So these are fussy cut, so I've chosen one that's in a banner because it's nice, smooth, long lines and easy to cut. So the Santa and the little reindeer have come from the Cookie Cutter Christmas, and again this one has a punch. I have these are done on Real Red, and this one is on Old Olive, and this reindeer is on Crumb Cake, and I've done the Santa on Whisper White with they've all been done with Memento black ink. And then I've coloured him in with the new blends. So he's actually coloured in the light Cherry Cobbler, the light Daffodil Delight, and then I've used the ivory for his face, and a teeny little bit of the pink pirouette on his cheeks and his mouth. Those blends are just gorgeous to colour with. Can you see? There's no streaking, and even though my colouring leaves a little bit to desired, I've gone out of the lines in some spots, but it still looks really good because there's no real streaking that you can see. So I think that the blends are really, really good for that, because I always leave lots of streaks when I colour in. I'm terrible. So this Enjoy and the little leaves have come from the Tags and Trimmings, and this one has a set of framelits, little stockings, and there's a little pocket with the folded edges that you can get in the framelits that goes with this one. So I've used the leaves and the Enjoy sentiment, and I've cut that out with one of the oval stitched edge framelits on the Big Shot, and then I've just fussy cut these leaves. So this is black on Real Red again. And these are Garden Green on Pool Party, and I did them in those colours because I actually used these on a bunch of Christmas cards that I made up the other day from the Enjoy, Around the World. The Christmas Around the World is what this designer series paper is called. So these are my leftover sentiments that I've got from making these cards. So that's why I chose the different greens, was to match that DSP. As opposed to the rest, well, this paper in particular has Old Olive on the back, which is why I chose Old Olive for the sentiments, so that I could use it on the ones that I've flipped over and done the other way. So I've already gone ahead and done a whole bunch. This is some of my Quilted Christmas Designer Series paper that I had left over, so I've just cut that up and put that on some of the leftover tags. And then there's the Old Olive, the black Old Olive stripe, and little Christmas trees. So I'll show you, because I did up a whole bunch of these, and they're really easy and quick to assemble. So I've got some black cardstock here, basic black, and I'll just grab out my trimmer. So I'm going to be using the Scalloped Edge Tag Topper Punch, and this one is just over 5 centimeters or 2 inches wide, so that's 5.1 centimeters. I generally like to do 5 centimeters even, because then I've just got a little bit of wriggle room in when I put my tag in there. It's not too tight, it just slides in nice and easy. So when you're doing a whole bunch of them, you know, you don't want to have to be fiddling around with it. You want to do a bunch, and I think that that little one is just going to be a little bit too narrow, so we'll leave that little bit. He can go in my pile of scraps. And then I'm going to do 10.5, and I'm doing 10.5 purely because that's half the width of an A4 sheet. So an A4 sheet is 21 centimeters wide, and 10.5 is half of that. So just for ease, it makes a pretty decent sized tag. So I'll pop that aside for a second and we'll punch these out. Now usually I hold my punches upside down so I can see where I'm punching, but this one actually has the little buffer there that'll stop you from going through too far, and because I'm doing a whole bunch of them, I just have it face down and I leave it in place, and I just punch and punch and punch. And then you've got a nice neat little pile of rubbish that you can toss out, and you know, you don't have little bits popping out everywhere. Okay, so then for the Designer Series paper, and I might just use this bit, as you can see, I've punched a whole heap of circles from around the edges on this one, so let's just neaten it up before we cut away at it. There we go. Now we've got a nice little square to work with, and it's got this beautiful snowflake design on the back. So I actually use this leaf pattern for non-Christmassy cards. It's absolutely stunning, and there is actually the black in this pack as well. So there's been a lot of people that have been colouring in that black one with the white flowers, and colouring it in with the blends, and it is absolutely beautiful. I love that effect. Alright, so to do this with just a little bit of an edge around it, we're going to do 4.6, so we're going to have 2 mils around each edge. .6, 4.6, and a little bit of scrap, and then so that it fits nicely underneath the little slot for your ribbon, and it's got basically the same gap in between the little slot as what's at the bottom there. So it's nicely centered on the card, on the tag rather. That was 8.5. And look at that, we're just going to get 2 nice neat little pieces out of each of those. And I'm going to stick these 3 together. Because I am always looking for shortcuts. Okay. So I'll quite often do either 2 pieces of cardstock or 2 or 3 pieces of designer series paper. You can, especially with the specialty designer series paper that's quite thin, like this year they've got the Merry Music. This one, it's very thin paper. And it does tear really easily. So when I'm cutting this, I do try and cut 2 sheets at a time, because that extra thickness really helps it to cut nice and clean. Okay. So I'm just going to use my snail for the, fast fuse. And you know, there's a lot of people have issues with the fast fuse because it is a little bit tricky, but you want to be up on quite a high angle when you're using it. So rather than going flat, you want to be up so that it's, hang on, I'll do it this way so that you guys can see what I mean. Instead of going flat along the paper like that, you'd want to go up on an angle, so that just the tip is running across your paper and the glue is running off this bit. If you have it on an angle like that, then you're actually going to catch this little piece just in here, which is the cover, the little plastic cover. And that's when you pull it out and you end up with fast fuse tape everywhere because it's all pulled out. So that's my little tip for using the fast fuse, is to just be quite up on a bit of an angle. And it is awkward, and it's it's tricky to get used to that, especially if you're used to using those little white out ones that you just drag along. Then it can be really tricky to get used to that high angle. But I assure you, if you use the high angle, you won't have any problems. And a little tick off at the end, a little right angle at the end, to help break the glue nice and firmly, rather than, if you just pull off, you'll get a long piece of fast fuse that sort of sticks everywhere and makes a mess. Okay, so I've managed to do 3 snowflakes and 1 leaf. That's alright, we'll put the leaf aside and we'll stick with the snowflakes, hey? They're cute. I like those. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with my little reindeer here. And I'm just going to stick a couple of dimensionals on the back of him. Bear with me 1 second. While I grab some more dimensionals. Nice fresh pack. And pop them in upside down for easy access next time. Alright, so we just want to start with one in between his antlers, and one down on his chin, and that's enough to help our little reindeer stay in place. And then I've got some gold thread, and I've actually got it just on the over on the edge of my desk. I have a basket. See if I can show you without spilling everything. So this is my basket of cards that I've got already made and little bits and pieces. So I've thrown the thread in there, and I've actually got the string coming out the side through these little holes. And that means when I pull on the string, the little ream, or whatever you call it, of thread just goes round and round inside the basket instead of, you know, flying all over the desk. So it's a nice easy way to control the thread from running around everywhere. And then I'm just going to do a figure 8, and I'm just being careful to keep my little end that I snipped. I want that to sort of be in the middle there somewhere. So I'm just going to stick that like that. That doesn't really look too good. I'm going to pull that off and just let it be a messy mess. Nope, it's not working for me. Let's start again. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? I think I need some on the little ears to help me anchor. So I do have Stamping Dimensionals, the mini ones, but I'm just going to use the little edge pieces of my Stamping Dimensionals to help, you know, rather than opening up a whole new pack of stuff. That's better. There we go. So I'm just going to put him down the bottom. And then I'm going to stick one of these Happy Christmas sentiments on the top. So I'm just going to stick a little bit of Tombow in the middle. These bits on the edges are going to be sticking out the sides of the tag, so I don't need to put glue on those. And there's two ways that I like to do my banners. You can either do it so that there's a straight line where this bit and this bit are, and this bit and this bit, or you can do it so that the writing is straight. And I like doing it so that the length is straight rather than the writing, but it's personal preference. It's not very centered. That's better. And that's the good thing about Tombow multi-purpose glue, as well as you can have a little bit of wriggle room. So I wanted to show you these two. So this one you can see I've got the writing is straight, and this one I've got the length of the banner is straight. So I mean, there's a little bit of difference there between the two of them, But overall, they both still look great. So it doesn't really matter which way you go with. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of this gold metallic edge ribbon. I'm just going to fold it in half, poke it through the little gap, cut it. Use my Stampin' Up scissors because the other ones are blunt. The other ones are my scissors that I use for, you know, cutting tape and glue and stuff like that. Because I don't mind if they get all sticky on the blades. But I don't want to get my Stampin' Up snips dirty because they're so sharp. They're beautiful to use. And just pull that through. And then you've got a cute little tag. So there's a couple of options that you can do with the back. We've got some really cute to and from stamps. Most of the Christmas sets have the to and from in them. So it's up to you what you want to do. Whether you could stamp it with white craft ink, you could heat emboss it, or you could do a little piece of white cardstock or vanilla cardstock or any lighter colour really, and stick that on the back and then stamp it on there so that there's somewhere to write the to and from for your Christmas presents. So Santa is pretty much the same. That's how I did those ones. And then this one is really nice and easy. This little fussy cut leaves. I just put a little bit of glue on the top and stick the other little leaf on top. And can you see the little lines on the leaves, down the center of the leaves? So I want those to be in the same arch. I don't want them going opposites because then the leaves look a little bit odd together. Looks like one's upside down. So just make sure those little lines are running the same way down the center on the same little arch. And then I'm just going to glue that onto the back of my sentiment. Going to add a couple of dimensionals. And then a bit more of the gold thread. And I usually like to go around either 6 or 10 times. It depends on the card or the tag that I'm making and how heavily embellished it is. You know, what would sort of suit it. Because, you know, you don't always want it to be really heavily embellished. Sometimes less is more. So there we go. And a little bit of ribbon again. I always cut the ribbon on an angle because it helps it to fray less, or stops it from fraying. And I usually like to cut the ends of my ribbon opposites so that it creates a nice little banner when they're sitting together. And there you go. Easy peasy. Some really sweet little Christmas tags for you to put on your gift wrap for your friends and your family this Christmas. I'd love to see what you come up with, if you've done something similar, or if you use this as a little bit of inspiration and come up with your own design based off it, then I'd love to see what you've done. So get in contact with me and let me know. And if you've got any questions, or if there's something that you'd like me to see, that you'd like to see me demonstrate, let me know and I'll be sure to do something for you. So this is Jessie Holton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for Australia, signing off. You can sign up to my newsletter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or sign up to follow me on Facebook or Pinterest, so that way you won't miss out on any of my designs or promos, Stampin' Up! Specials, product clubs, online card classes and that sort of thing. All the current information is on my blog. So just this month for November, if you're one of my customers and you use my November customer code, you will go in the draw for, let me find it, I don't know what I did with the stamp set for this one. Oh, there it is. So this is the gorgeous Colour Me Happy Project Kit. And if you use my November hostess code and you shop with me, then you'll go in the draw to win this beautiful bundle. So that's the kit that makes 16 cards. There's 4 each of the 4 designs. And you'll also get the matching stamp set. And this has been specifically designed to use with the blends. However, you could colour it in however you like, or just use different colour cardstocks underneath with black ink. It would still look really beautiful, or even heat embossed. And it's up to you. You can make them up the way that they show, or you can make them up your own way. So that's what I've got for my November customers, and I've actually got the same, another set the same for my team for November draw, which I do a draw every month for my team. So whether you join my team and get the best deal on the blends, you could get them for $169, that's pretty crazy, and still have some money left over to spend. Or whether you purchase from me and stay just as a customer, I appreciate you either way, and I want to reward you for either being a customer with me or being on my team. And I love you know, the interaction that I get from you guys. So good luck, best of luck with that. I hope that you win this beautiful set, and thank you for joining me to make some tags. Have a lovely evening or morning or day, wherever it is, wherever you are, and make sure that you give me a heads up if you have any queries at all. Take care.